Hey everybody, long time no see. First off, I just want to apologize to everybody for being AWOL for 2 weeks. Went on a little vacation, much needed if I must say so myself. I thought I was going to have more free time to put some videos out and let y'all know what I was thinking. But unfortunately, with things that happened on vacation, I did not have that free time, and I deeply apologize for that. But the good news is I'm back. I'm ready to roll. And what we're doing today is we're introducing a new part of my show. And this part is strictly going to be about betting and game picks just on games. So I had a lot of y'all come to me, send me messages about how you should bet certain lines and maybe some tips on betting. So before I really get into the games this week, I just want to kind of share with you a little bit of my strategy when I go into betting and betting on single games or betting on parlays. So, as everybody knows, when you go to bet a game, there's a game line. They call it the money line. So, let's take the Bills this weekend, for instance. The Bills are 13-point favorites, which means they're minus 13. That means the Jets are plus 13. So, in order for the Bills to cover that bet, they have to win by more than 13 points. If they only win by 13, the bet breaks even. You don't lose, you don't win. Your money just, stays there. That's basically the money line bet. That's for single games. Then there's something else called a straight up bet, where you can bet straight up on whatever team you think is going to win. So, example again, we'll take the Bills and the Jets. I mean, I don't think anyone in their right mind, unless they're really trying to go against the grain here, is going to bet against the Bills in a straight up game against the Jets this weekend. So, the winner for that game is the Bills, and you would bet money on the Bills. And there'll be a line for that as well, which will be different than the money line, but you'll see it. So, a minus is in favor of the team that's the positive favorite, and a plus sign is the team that is not the favorite. There's other bets such as over, under, stuff like that. And if you have any questions on bets like that, you can contact me directly. But strictly for this video, we're just kind of going to focus on games themselves. And I also had someone ask me about parlays. What is a parlay? So basically for this video and this video only, we will talk about parlays and the fact that it'll just be teams that you choose to either take the money line or win the game, but it'll be consecutive bets. So for instance, let's say this weekend you chose the Bills to beat the Jets, the Chiefs to beat the Broncos, and the Saints to beat the Panthers. And you parlayed those bets. For you to win that bet, all three of your teams have to win. If one of them loses, you lose the bet. So I had some questions on that, and someone asked me, well, what if one of my bets pushes even? So let's just say in some odd instance in one of those games, somebody ties. What happens to my bet? This is really strictly based off of who you place your bets with. But most of the time in a parlay, if there is a bet that pushes, what happens is that bet is just subtracted. So say for that instance, let's say the Bills tied the Jets. That bet's just subtracted from the parlay, and it turns into a 2-team parlay now instead of a 3-team parlay. So you still have a parlay, but it's only 2 teams and you won't win as much money anymore. But like I said, that's based off of where you place your bets in. Some people, a push is a loss. So I would really look into, before you do your parlays and stuff like that, really look into who you're betting with and kind of what their stance is on parlays if you push. All right. Now that we've got like the basics of what these bets are out of the way, let's go a little bit into some of my strategies. So for me, for instance, if I'm betting NFL games, I stay away from any game that has double digits as a favorite. I just don't like going for double-digit favorites. It is very tough in the NFL to win by double digits. I know, like for instance, I brought up the Bills earlier. They're a 13-point favorite this week against the Jets. And it very easily could happen. I mean, the Jets are freaking awful. But me personally, when I'm placing bets, I like to stay away from those high number favorites because sometimes they can be hard to get in the NFL. Because any given Sunday, those players can come out and they can stay within 2 touchdowns. Another piece of betting advice. When I'm looking at a game, So let's take the 49ers this weekend. They are the 2-point underdogs to the New England Patriots. So in this game, the money line would be you pick the 49ers to stay within 2 points or the Patriots to win by more than 2 points. So if I look at this game and say I'm going to take the 49ers plus 2, that's such a close number and to 0, okay? So let's think about how many NFL games this year have finished with the total being 3 points or less. There are very few games that finish 3 points or less. And I'm sure you can bring up the stats and maybe there's more than I'm thinking. But as far as the games that I've bet on, most of those games are not 3 points or less. So if I'm looking at the San Francisco 49ers right here and I'm looking to take them plus 2, to get you a little bit more money, I would take the 49ers straight up. Because more than likely that game is going to be bigger than a 2-point game. And if you think Frisco is going to stay within 2 points, I would just take the Niners straight up. That's the same kind of knowledge I'll play with any team that I think that can win the game. It is within a 2 to 3 point spread, just because so few games in the NFL finish 3 points or less. That's just my way of doing things. Everyone has their own betting preferences, but as far as when I'm making parlays and stuff like that, that's just kind of the way I go. So now that we got some of the basics out of the way, and if you have any more questions on like how to bet or what bets you should make, or if you just want some guidance on, hey, is this a good bet? Do you think this is good? You can always hit me up directly and I'll gladly answer your questions. But without further ado, let's get on to my Week 7 NFL picks. So for this segment of the show and from here on out, I will keep track of my record and I will update my record each week on the teams that I pick. I will strictly be doing money lines. I'm going to just strictly be doing the points because it's easier. When I'm talking about these games with y'all and I'm giving you the who's the favorite and who's not the favorite and how many points they are projected to be the favorite by, I'm just going to go off of that. Because games like that are big differentials, it's easier to pick straight up winners. But I'm going to go money line. And I'll tell you how many points at the time I made this list they were favored. I made this list yesterday around 3 o'clock. Betting lines change all the time. I will say by the time some of these bets close by Sunday, the scores may change a little bit as far as who's the favorite. They may have went up in points or they could have went down in points. But at the time that I made this list, these were the numbers that were out, and that's numbers that I'm going to roll with. So the first game is our Thursday night game. At the time, the Eagles were the 4.5 point favorites over the Giants. And in this game, I'm going to take, even though Miles Sanders is out, I'm going to take the Eagles. I think the Giants just allow too much on defense. I think the Eagles are going to win this game by probably a touchdown. Even though it's a division game and it's going to be a close one, someone needs to start separating themselves away from another team in the NFC East. When the Dallas Cowboys are leading the division at 2-4, something is sadly wrong with that division. So something's going to have to change. And I think the Eagles hit that spark this weekend, and that's why I'm taking them as the 4.5 point favorite over the New York Giants. Game 2, we got the Lions and the Falcons. The Lions are 2.5 point underdogs. This is a tough game. And this is a game that I was just telling you about, like the 49ers. If you're confident in the Lions, you may want to bet them straight up. But for this game, man, this is a tough one to call. The Falcons had a resurgence last week and played well against the Vikings, but we all know the Vikings defense has not been that great this year. So I look at this game and I try to look at the Detroit Lions defense and kind of look at what they've been doing this year. And they are atrocious against the run. But for some reason, I just don't believe in the Falcons. I don't believe in any Atlanta teams right now after my Braves blew a 3-1 lead, just like every other Atlanta team seems to do nowadays. I'm going to take the Detroit Lions. I think Kenny Golladay and Matt Stafford are going to connect really well, and I'm going to take the Detroit Lions as the 2.5 point underdogs, and I'll probably take them straight up as well. Next game, Browns at Bengals. I know y'all are Joe Burrow fans out there, and I was a Joe Burrow fan the first time they played. But even though the Browns played bad last weekend against the Steelers, the Browns are not losing to the Bengals this weekend. Baker Mayfield does look a lot better. I know he didn't have a great game last week, but they're 3 point favorites, and I think they're going to get the win by more than 3. So in this game, I think Kareem Hunt also helps, and and carries them on the rushing attack, just like they did last time against the Bengals. And I think they seal this one pretty easily. So I'm going to take the Browns as a 3.5 or the 3-point favorites. Next game on the list is Steelers at Titans. This game is almost basically like a push as far as points go. It's +1 for the Steelers. The Titans are the 1-point favorite. But I'm going to tell you what gives this game to me is the Steelers' rushing defense is really good. I don't think Derrick Henry is going to be able to do what he wants, which is going to really, I think it's going to hurt Ryan Tannehill a little bit. And I see James Conner getting going for the Titans. Plus, that Titans defense does give up a lot of points per game. So I'm going to look at, and I'm going to take the Steelers at +1 here, and probably the Steelers straight up to win this game. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a slugfest, but I do like the Steelers in this matchup. The next game on the list, the Panthers at the Saints. The Panthers are the 7.5-point underdogs. So, we've seen the Saints this year. They do not look like the typical Saints. Mike Thomas could be back this week. How that will affect the offense, I don't know. If he's 100%, it could be great for them. But just based off of what's been going on for the Saints this year, the Saints haven't won a game, I want to say, had not won a single game, maybe one, by more than 7 points this year. So looking at a 7.5-point underdog in a division game against a Teddy Bridgewater-led Panthers, Teddy Bridgewater's been playing pretty well, and the Saints defense is just mediocre at best. I'm actually going to take the Panthers as 7.5-point underdogs to cover that spread and to have a good day. And Teddy Bridgewater may even, make it close and get a victory out of this one. It's going to be a great division game, and I think you're in store for some good football if you're looking to watch that game. Next game on the list is the Bills at the Jets. We already said the Bills are the 13-point favorites, and the Jets are the 13-point underdogs. So after doing a little bit of research, everyone can see that the Jets suck. But Adam Gase is still there, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to roll the die here. I'm going to take the Bills as the 13-point favorite. Reason being, the Jets have only finished within 2 touchdowns one time this season. One time. And I think they got beat by 11 that time. So I'm going to roll the dice here. I'm going to go ahead and take the 13-point favorite Bills to go ahead and cover that spread and show the Jets right on home, or actually beat them in their own home, and maybe send Adam Gase home, because I think it's time for Adam Gase to start looking for a new job. Heard Dick's Sporting Goods is hiring. All right, so next game on the list is the Cowboys at the Washington Redskins. The Redskins are the 3-point underdogs here, and the Cowboys with Andy Dalton didn't impress me last week. So just because of that, I'm taking Washington as the 3-point underdog. The Dallas has no defense, and the offense wasn't impressive. Dallas has given up like 30 points a game. Why wouldn't I take the Redskins here? Ugh, what a bad division. All right, next game on the list is the Packers at the Texans. I love this game right here. The Packers are the 3.5-point favorites. That's just disrespectful. I know the Texans are playing a little bit better football, but come on. I know the Packers got blown out by the Bucs last week, but that's even more reason for the Packers to come out here and just kick the living crap out of the Texans. So 3.5-point favorites is not enough for me. I see the Packers winning by a touchdown, and I'm happily going to take the Packers here as a 3.5-point favorite. The next game on the list is the Seahawks at the Cardinals. This, what I call, my friends, is the upset of the week. I have the Cardinals, even though they're 3.5-point underdogs, winning straight up. Reason being, the Cardinals have only given up 18 points per game this year. That's second best in the NFL. Seattle's defense is like the worst in the league against passing. Kyler Murray's looked great. DeAndre Hopkins, great. Kenyon Drake needs to get a little bit better at running the ball, but he had a great game last week. The Cards looked good last week. And I'm going to tell you this, the Cards will beat the Seahawks this week. I will have some action on this game. I really like this upset pick, and it's something that you could throw into a parlay to get that money up in the parlay. Next game on the list is the Chiefs, the Broncos. The Chiefs are a 9.5-point favorite against the Broncos. I'm going to choose the Chiefs in this game, but it's a division game, and if I'm betting personally and I'm looking at this, I'm going to kind of stay away from this game if I'm betting the money line. If you bet straight up and you choose the Chiefs, great. You're not going to win that much money, but that's what I'm looking for. in this game is the Chiefs to go ahead and take that 9.5 points and probably win by 10. But like I said, I'll probably stay away from this game as far as betting goes. Next game on the list is the 49ers at the Pats. The 49ers are the 2-point underdogs in this game. And for me, I like the 49ers here. The Pats, due to COVID, haven't really been able to practice, and it kind of showed last week. Sorry, mid part of that, I got a call. Still videoing on my phone, clearly. But as I was saying, the next game on the list is the 49ers at the Pats. The 49ers are the 2-point underdogs. Right here, I do like the 49ers to win this game. I love their defense. And the reason I like them to win this game, I'll take them straight up and I'll take the money line, but I would rather bet this one straight up because of how small the money line is. The Pats haven't had very much practice time due to COVID. It showed last week when they played the Broncos, and I think the 49ers are a little bit of a step up from the Broncos. But the quarterback play is suspect for the 49ers, but I think the defense helps them get it done. That's why I like the 49ers in this game. Next game on the list is the Jags at the Chargers. The Chargers are the 8-point favorites in this game, and with the way Justin Herbert's been throwing the ball as he's come out, I am taking the Chargers as 8-point favorites here. This is a tough game to choose. I probably will stay away from this game if I'm betting and I'm making parlays and stuff like that. But if I had to choose someone on the money line right here, I'm going to take the Chargers as 8-point favorites. Next, we have the Bucks at the Raiders. This is a 3-point game in favor of the Bucks. The way the Bucks played last week, there's probably going to be a lot of action trending towards the Bucks on this game, and I can't blame them. The Raiders' defense has not been very good, and the Bucks' defense has been pretty good. They're good against the rushing attack, so Josh Jacobs probably won't be able to get it going as much as he would like to. And I just really do think the Bucks are going to cover 3 points here. So I'm going to take the Bucks in this game, and Tom Brady's going to lead them to a victory. The last game on my slate is the Bears at the Rams. The Bears are the 6-point underdogs. 6 points. Looking back at what the Rams have done the last couple of weeks, they played the Giants, they played the Redskins, I think. They've got some wins against some, in my opinion, lackluster opponents, and they didn't beat them by much. The Bears are a decent football team. Do they have trouble at the quarterback position? Yes. Are they worse than the Rams? I don't think so. I think the Rams defense is a good defense and will give the Chicago Bears some trouble on offense. But I like the Chicago Bears in this game. I got them for the money line, and this is also one of my sneaky upset picks. I'm going to have some action on them this week of the Bears winning straight up against the Rams. I think that they have a good enough team. I think David Montgomery could have a chance to get the game going. And Allen Robinson, if he can get caught up in the pass game, it could be a tough day for the Los Angeles Rams. So, with that, that's the last game on the slate. I just want to say thank y'all for listening to me. If you have any questions on betting and you're new to picking games, hit me up. I have been on vacation. I was called by multiple people. I helped out multiple people still. And this is what I love to do. Like I always say, thank y'all so very much for your support. It is the reason I want to do this. And I have been overwhelmed with the amount of people that have come to me and have asked me for advice, and that have also thanked me for their advice. I'm not always right, but I do put a lot of time into this research, and it does make me feel a lot better when I get those positive remarks. Of course, there's always going to be people that are upset with the stuff that I say, but that's part of the game, But like I said, I appreciate y'all's support. I hope you enjoy this video. And if you like this segment on Game Picks, let me know. Like, subscribe, share with all your friends. Let them know that Ryan Gill knows what he's talking about so we can really build this up. Thank y'all very much for today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Colts.